Hello, everybody, and Merry Christmas Eve to those who celebrate. I apologize for the lateness of today's review. I was traveling for the holidays and having some technological issues, but we will move past that and move on with season 2 of award season reviews. It is day 19 of 96, and we are beginning to wrap up documentary week. And today is Netflix's American Symphony, directed by Matthew Heineman. Now, like several others of the documentaries this week, I have no box office information to share because this film was released specifically to digital streaming platforms and follows the Academy's rules related to documentaries. Now, award season wise, American Symphony was nominated for Best Documentary by the Producers Guild Association and several Critics' Choice Documentary Awards, including Best Documentary, Director, Editing, Cinematography, and Score. And it is one of the 15 that made the Oscar shortlist competing for one of those 5 slots in this season's awards. Now, additionally, both the director, Matthew Heineman, and the subject of the documentary, Jon Batiste, have Oscar history. Heineman was nominated in 2016 for his documentary Cartel Land, and Batiste, in collaboration with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, won the Oscar for Best Original Score for Disney's Soul in 2019. Now, American Symphony is an insight into Jon Batiste, a musician who came from being told when he was younger by a therapist that he wasn't playing the correct instruments to using those said instruments to build a career where he was the most nominated artist at the Grammy Awards in 2022 with 11 nominations. However, while this sounds incredible, in a weird twist of fate, on the same day he learned of those 11 nominations, he learned that his wife's leukemia had returned after being dormant for a period of time. Now, these extreme highs and lows are only one facet of the documentary that sets out to tell the story of this accomplished artist. Now, on top of these extremes, the documentary looks at the process Batiste is going through as he is also at the same time preparing his brand new world debut of his 40-minute and 4-part original work, American Symphony, which he will be performing at Carnegie Hall, which was scheduled in September of 2022. To say that 2022 was an intense year for this young artist is an understatement. Now, for those who are not familiar with Batiste, I will not spoil the entire documentary, right? We like to do these spoiler free. However, the journey that the film takes us on is a very unique and honest portrait. There seems to be no limit to what Batiste lets Heineman shoot in telling his story. Even moments as intimate as when Batiste is discussing his frustrations with his therapist is even being willing to be presented. And while there is some direct talking to the camera, more often we're just seeing spy shots and the documentary crew following Batiste and his wife Suleika around. At first, it almost seemed like the film was trying to accomplish too much with the plot surrounding Carnegie Hall, the unfortunate return of his wife's cancer, the Grammy journey, but it does all link together because it just shows this tumultuous year that builds to the Carnegie Hall performance. If anything, a little bit too little of the time was spent on Carnegie Hall, but I will let you make that decision should you see it. And please make sure that you comment and let me know if you agree or not. I mean, that was the one element that I did feel got a little bit of the short shrift. It's ironic given that the name of the documentary is based after that piece. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention it's also touching when they show a couple of scenes with Batiste and Stephen Colbert. For those that don't know, Jon Batiste, prior to 2022, had served as the band leader for Stephen Colbert shows for 7 seasons. So, just getting all of these glimpses show us who this person is. As with yesterday's film, Apollonia, Apollonia, American Symphony sets out to give us the portrait of a young artist. Batiste's career is really, fledgling right now and really just continuing to grow. I personally wasn't as familiar with him prior to the documentary. I'd heard of him. I've heard of the music. I remember Soul, the Soul Win. But, now I'm a little interested to discover more of his music. This is an artist who, refuses to be pigeonholed. He's a pop artist, he's a classical artist. And, those 11 Grammy nominations span different genres, which raised its own little bit of controversy, which the film touches on. So, as for a rating, American Symphony gets a 4 out of 5 stars. It is a documentary that will leave you inspired, and I felt that that's why it was a good one to include right here as we are on the holiday. Now, if you haven't seen American Symphony and are interested, it is streaming exclusively on Netflix. See everyone tomorrow for Christmas Day, and it will be the final film in this week's documentary set. Now, as always, if you like what you heard, please subscribe to my channel and follow me on all social media networks for all of the great award season goodness. And make sure you check out the remaining couple of films on the 12 Days of Christmas Movie Reviews in 25 Words 2023 edition. And until then, I will say Merry Christmas Eve again for those who celebrate. And this is Cinephile Mike saying, take a break and watch something new. Merry Christmas.